not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And I was very hesitant to make this video here about the Baltimore riots. I was very reluctant to make this video because I have a very polarizing perspective. I didn't know which way I wanted to go. We're talking about Baltimore, the old stomping grounds of Frederick Douglass. Yes, Baltimore had slaves. Look it up. And and this upheaval, this hydrogen burst is unique to other riots, you know what I'm saying, that we've recently had. Now, first of all, don't go out saying, oh, black people just riot off every little mishap. Well, I would say this is more than a mishap. Because, you know, the Tamir Rice situation in Cleveland, the officers were cleared of any wrongdoing, no riot. The Crawford, the guy who was gunned down in Walmart for holding a toy gun, the officers was acquitted from, well, they didn't even go to trial, was cleared of any wrongdoing. And, you know, and then, you know, Darren Wilson. So, now, the Ferguson riots is a mere brush fire compared to this. Now, I'm not going to take back from this, I'm not trying to take away from the severity of Ferguson, but we all know in Ferguson, the police, the authoritarian figures, did a lot to agitate that situation. So therefore, maybe we can say with Baltimore, there was just so much raw energy from all these occurrences, and it all came together in a hydrogen burst. Now, but, you know, they say, you know, riot and looting doesn't solve anything. But when we have a constructive, peaceful, and try to have a productive protest, that also lands on deaf ears, you know, too. So, but, you know what I'm saying, observing the footage out there, and everybody, you know, I've been watching this stuff, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to overlook the malicious criminality that's going on. I've seen a guy puncture a fire hose as police officers are, you know what I'm saying, trying to put out a fire. A photographer in the street that got jumped on, and thing, the CVS got broken into. They burnt the CVS down. Of course, they want to go to the CVS because you got the prescription drugs there. You know what I'm saying? In the pharmacy, so they can sell them on the street. And I understand that this sort of ill behavior undermines or hijacks the attention to the positive powwows that are going on. And I understand that a lot of people, residents, are condemning the looters and things of that nature, and that people have to live in these communities. And so therefore, I had to put myself in this perspective. What if I lived amongst this chaos and commotion? You know what I'm saying? What if I lived in there and I had to go to work and I couldn't go to work because the streets are all messed up and blocked off, and so the place, the establishment where I work at or whatever is you know what I mean, not functioning, not opening due to the riots or got burnt down. So I for the first time, I had to put myself into that perspective, and that, you know, you got people out there that got to go and get milk for their babies, and, you know, some Similac, or, you know, and I've seen that they've burnt down a living community for senior citizens. that's definitely not good. And when the smoke clears and the dust settles, the same you're you know what I'm saying, you're angry at this establishment, but now you're going to rely on this establishment to help you rebuild, you know, and bring about normalcy, you know. And so, but then I look and see that this is the same old rigmarole. Now that there's some information that is mysteriously bubbling up, that, you know, some inmate that was inside that van with him, but he couldn't see Freddie Gray. He couldn't see him. Saying that Freddie Gray was doing, he heard Freddie Gray doing stuff to injure himself. And we know that when black men in particular, when they have been detained in police custody, and in transport vehicles, that they have this erratic behavior, you know, like kids, you know what I'm saying, while handcuffed, blowing his own brains out in the back of a squad car. And I tell you, you know what I mean, they're going to do, the jail cells are full. The prisons have reached their capacity. So therefore, them knocking off somebody, so, you know what I mean, and instead of, you know, knocking somebody off because they know that this person is going to sit inside the jail cell and drain tax dollars. So therefore, the life has no value. See, the thing is, I've worked in a penal facility, and I know how to transport inmates, because there's times where we had to transport them to hospitals or transport them to the courthouse, and we know how to deal with inmates that want to act a little rambunctious. You know, the pressure points, you know, tactical and effective takedowns. So, and I'm not saying stuff doesn't happen, that the inmates don't face brutality in the hands of the correctional officers. No, I'm not saying that. But inmates that are in jail, even though I understand it's innocent until proven guilty, they get better treatment than people on the streets that hasn't even been charged with anything. Jaywalkers and things of that nature. So that needs to really settle in. People really need to settle in that correctional officers are treating guys that have done something, that have been at least charged with something inside the jail, than people on the streets that haven't, you know, committed a crime. Yeah, no, we don't know what Freddie Gray was doing. And people really need to sit back and really process that information, but they're not going to do it. You know. So therefore, yeah, this is why I have this mentality where it said, hey, you know, just burn it down to the ground. And I understand that if I lived amongst this chaos, that, hey, but then again, I am a responsible adult and I have insurance and things, my home and my car will, you know what I'm saying, will be secured, insured, I mean, insured and secure. Now, but let's take a look. Let's take backtrack. Let's go back in time to the LA riots. And you know, the thing is with them, it wasn't that people witnessed the Rodney King getting the spirits beat out of him on videotape, and then just immediately started to run amok in the streets. They sat back and wait for due process, you know, and yeah, and something foul was amiss, because, you know, they moved the trial to Simi Valley, they guaranteed that, you know what I'm saying, you have an all-white jury, well-to-do white people that is going to be sympathetic to the police officers. And then the fact that once people started loot burning and vandalizing in the streets, that it took a while for a police presence to show up. And that gave a clear message to the world that, hey, there is a major malfunction here. There is a dysfunction here. In a lot of ways, it kind of, for them to kind of have more compassion for the looters, because they said, man, look, you know, they moved the case to Simi Valley, and then look at what's going on here. You know what I mean? The cops ain't even showing up to do their job. But I guess with Baltimore, people have just reached the boiling point. They're not going to wait, because they know that the odds of these police officers being charged with any infraction is very slim. You know what I'm saying? It's next to nothing. And the cops have a lot of power, because a lot of cops are unionized. So that means they're even untouchable by state representatives. Even the mayor and politicians and people that sit in government officials will have a hard time doing any have a hard time even harming a hair on a cop's head. You know, and the cops would be like, hey, we're your line of defense against these animals. And that when people, you know, watching what's going on here, it's going to make them back, strengthen their support for the police officers. There's like, look at these kids here, you know what I mean? They're vandalizing. They don't seem to be angry because they got a smile on their face. They're out there, they're trying to get they're trying to steal a new PlayStation 4 or 5 or whatever it is. You know, and that's the thing. So when the smoke clears and the dust settles, really nothing's going to be accomplished. Yeah, no, things are going to go back to normal. They're going to go back to how they always was. Now I understand that they've brung the National Guard in. You know, and the thing is, I saw a sign that said, somebody was holding a sign, they're killing us, but we're not killing them. You know what I'm saying? And that's powerful, because as cantankerous as people claim that these people on the streets are, and there's more than just black people rioting. You know, I've seen black people and Mexicans or Hispanics out there, and white people are doing it too, but the majority of them are black, from what you see. But I understand somebody posted a picture on Facebook of nothing but white people looting a store, and I understand the media will not cover that. But that's the thing, and at the end of it all, people are just merely throwing rocks at the police. They're just throwing rocks. It's not like they're picking up semi-automatic weapons and turning it into Beirut, really going to war. But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching, and sally forth.